Hello, I'm Jennifer Lynn. I am a broadcast journalist. I work in Philadelphia for WHYY Public Radio. And I've been asked by the library staff to check in and let you know that life goes on as journalists in this region. There's a lot to do covering the pandemic and other stories at this time. Maybe you are in middle school or high school and you're thinking about a future in journalism. I want to assure you that it is a very interesting profession. Every day is very different. The stories that you cover can be varied and take you to some very interesting places. I've been in this field for a very long time. I started right out of college in the 80s. It was a time when a lot of the equipment that we used really almost isn't in existence anymore. So we've gone from analog reporting to digital. I've been able to follow from one to the other, luckily, over all of these decades. I would suggest that if you are interested in journalism, that you make sure that you're reading a lot of journalistic things. Find a newspaper that you love. A lot of newspapers are now digital, of course, but find one that you like. Either get it free or subscribe to it. It doesn't cost a lot. And just follow along. Start to get familiar with some of the journalists who are putting things out there, and this will help you find your journalistic voice. So when you like someone else's writing, or you like the types of things that they're writing about, really latch on to that. That's my recommendation. And that can help you get to be a little more like them in some ways, and then take what they're doing to your level of who you are. Put your personality into writing that you may be doing down the road. Also, listen to radio. Of course I'm going to say that because I work for a radio station, but it is a really great way to get precise in your writing. Radio writing is, as I was always told, sort of geared for an 8th grade level of reading. That's not to insult anyone who has a higher than 8th grade level of reading, but the mantra is to keep it simple. People only have one chance to really hear a story on the radio, so you want to keep your words moving along in a conversational way and written in a simplicity that almost borders poetry in some ways. Writing can be very refined in a very simple way. So listen to radio, make sure you're reading newspapers or magazines, things that you love or learn to love, and also poke around at universities, colleges, community colleges that have programs for writers. You don't have to go in just for journalism. Also, a lot of my colleagues have studied political science, history, various arts. Not that poli-sci and history are not part of the arts, but you can have an interesting background that is not just going to journalism school. And all of these things can inform you. When you do become a journalist, you could have a specialty, you could have a beat. Maybe you become the science reporter. Maybe you become the health reporter. Maybe you become the education reporter. Maybe you don't know what kind of reporter you may become, but it's in you and you know it. So just start following your instincts, looking around, asking a lot of questions. That's what journalists do. Stay curious in your journey to becoming a journalist, and good luck. Thanks.